everybody. Today we're going to make white chicken chili corn chowder. This really is just a combination of white chicken chili and chicken corn chowder. I was trying to make a recipe one day for white chicken chili and I thought I had all of the ingredients, and then I went back to go and double check again, and then I started reading the ingredients for the chicken corn chowder and by accident put them in one and realized afterwards that I had combined the two. But to our surprise, it came out really, really good, and this is how we make it. I first start with a rotisserie chicken. So I just buy a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store. I'm gonna shred this and put the carcass in the water to boil, and that's how I'll get my broth. And what I did, I went ahead and I filled up the pot with 13 cups of water, and that's enough to cover the chicken bones, but it's also just a little bit extra that was in there so that it evaporates off. But if you don't have time to do that, you can use it's 2 of the boxes of the chicken broth. It's around 96 ounces, I think, because I think they're 48-ounce boxes. So I'm gonna go ahead and shred this up, and while we let that boil, we'll go ahead and we'll start preparing all of the other vegetables and everything that go in it. Some of the little hard bits and questionable bits, I just toss in and make with the broth. But you want to feel around to make sure you're not going to have any of those small bones in there. Nobody wants that.
So now let's see if you can click subscribe before I get done shredding this chicken.
Now we're gonna go get all of the vegetables ready. So I'm gonna start with peeling the carrots, and then I will dice them. So now we're gonna go ahead and dice up 1 whole red pepper. Okay, now you're going to dice up 1 whole white onion. All right, now you want to have 6 cloves of garlic. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 tablespoons in a pot, and we're going to saute all of the fresh diced up vegetables. We will go ahead and we'll put the heat on high so we can saute these vegetables. Okay, let's go ahead and saute. So in the meantime, I will be dicing up the chicken. It's important that when you have soups that everything be around the same size. You don't want to have like a huge carrot and finely chopped up onions, or a huge piece of chicken and all of the vegetables are finely chopped up. You want to make everything very consistent. Let's go back to... Probably getting a little steamy in there, isn't it? Don't know if it's fogging up the lens. So after you saute it, just for about 5 minutes, you just want to get them, they don't need to be soft, but just a little bit more tender. You want to go ahead and add the chicken You want to add 2 cups of frozen corn. You want to add 1 4-ounce can of diced chilies, 2 teaspoons of cumin, and 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I'm always messing. And here's the cumin and the chili powder. So while that's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and mix 16 ounces of sour cream with a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Both of these will be thickeners. Okay, so there's 1/4 cup of the cornstarch. Oh, didn't get all of that. There we go. So before I use that, go ahead and you want to get all the lumps out. This is getting warmed up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and add a package of cream cheese to this so that it will start to melt. It's important that we want to get all of these ingredients the same temperature and get really heated up so that, like even with the sour cream and the cornstarch, so that when we add the broth to it, it won't separate. If you add them when they're all at the same temperature, they're less likely to separate. So what I'm trying to do right now is push it down in there, get that all melted. Okay, so that's getting melted. So let me go ahead and add in the sour cream and cornstarch to get that heated up. And then you want to get a spatula. In a little bit, we're going to start adding, just little by little, we're going to start adding some of the chicken broth. At the end, if you feel like it might be too thick for you, then you can go ahead and add more chicken broth to it and then thin it out a little bit, but make sure that the chicken broth is hot when you add it. Okay, now while we are still adding the chicken broth to it, we can go ahead and add in the beans. We didn't want to add in the beans before because since they're canned beans, they're very soft, and during that time, it would have just been too rough on them. We would have smashed them all up. So we're gonna add 4 cans of cannellini beans. Or you can use Great White Northern, is that what they're called? The Northern white beans? I don't know if it's the Great White. Northern? I don't know, a white bean. And this is really good topped with cilantro, jalapenos, Monterey Jack cheese, and then even to have tortilla chips on the side is really yummy. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and I have moved it to medium heat, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it on low. But because I have an electric stove, it doesn't register right away that it's going to low. So I'm still gonna be stirring it so that nothing starts to burn and stick on the bottom. And also, you can add salt and pepper to taste, but I urge you to try it first before you do salt it, because it might already be perfect the way it is. But definitely try it before you add salt, and add salt little by little, because what somebody told me a long time ago, once you put it in, you can't take it back out.